Are we heading towards a hard Brexit ultimately, or is this something in the background that is not going to happen under any circumstances as she tries to take things right down to the wire?
No, our base case that at the end the deal will be eventually approved, but certainly we are going down to the wire. Running down the clock works in Theresa May's favor. And as of now, we know that there is only one clear parliamentary majority, a parliamentary majority that is against a disorderly Brexit. For else, it's still early days, even if we are only 42 days to go.
Why do you say that?
Well, in the sense that here, at the end of the day, running down the clock will generally focus the mind. We know we have two broken parties here with poor leadership. We are putting a huge amount of political stress on the British political system. So, again, it's early days. I think at the end of the day, Theresa May here, the signpost is the 21st of March European Council meeting. She might get some wording from the European leaders, from their counterparts, about the backstop. And then that, together with basically being next to the cliff edge, should help to get the parliamentary majority that is required to pass the deal, and that will involve, also will need the support of some Labour MPs. That is basically where we are at this point.
Indeed, and Wolf, the thing is that she would have seen what happened in negotiations, particularly with Greece and various other countries, where they indeed went to 1 minute before midnight before an accord was struck. There is one other aspect, though, which is an extension of Article 50. How likely is that, and how likely is, during that period, a second referendum possibly being held?
An extension of Article 50 is required even if Theresa May is able to get the so-called meaningful vote through by the 29th of March, because there are 6 more bills that need to go through Parliament in order to implement Brexit. So even in the best case scenario, even in our best case, there will be an extension. An extension simply because Theresa May is not able to get a majority is a different ballgame. She still will have to indicate to Brussels what is actually she's trying to achieve here, and that will only happen after she fails a vote. So we still will have some, let's say, some political drama in Westminster required before she goes to Brussels to ask for an extension. Giving an extension is also complicated by the European parliamentary election. If an extension goes beyond the 2nd of July, the UK will be asked to vote in the European parliamentary election, which is, as you can understand, somewhat paradoxical.
So, yeah, I struggle to see what the most realistic scenario will be, say, in the next 3 months. What do you think that is the most realistic, best-case scenario?
An approval of the Theresa May deal with some tweaking on the margins by the end of March, done at the last moment, an approval that will require support from around 25-30 Labour MPs, then an extension to the 1st of July to approve the remaining legislation. That is a base case at this point.